And a very good afternoon. Welcome to Albert and Oval for the traditional Family Day game here, and it is going to be a very good occasion. Two sides, Port Adelaide and the Magpies, so the Magpies and the Power combined sides playing each other. One side will be wearing the Port Adelaide Power home goods, and the other side a away strip in the white. As my name is Daniel Norton, by the way, as I welcome to the commentary team for this afternoon. We're going to have a couple of special guest commentators right across the afternoon. Jackson Trengove. Jacko, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Norts. Thanks for having me in here today. It's obviously a blustery 40.8 outside, but underneath the aircon here we've got the minus 19, which is fantastic. I'm rocking the PAFC jumper, and it's an absolute cracker of a day out there, mate.
Absolutely, and your jumper's got our two newish sponsors on board too. The partners, Energy Australia, of course, last week. Big thank you to Energy Australia for jumping on board, and Renault, who came on board last year. It's a very exciting time for the club. But you mentioned the heat, Jacko, 40.8 degrees. It is just before 4:45 in the afternoon. What do the players do in the lead up to this? We know Burjo loves heat training. Are you prepared for this?
Yeah, I think most of the boys will be pretty much used to this sort of conditions. Daniel, it's been pretty hot over the pre-season, and we've trained in conditions up to 46, 47 degrees, and 40. It's starting to cool down now in the afternoon, although it's pretty hot. But the boys are used to it, and they'll go out there and battle away all day in this heat, and obviously hope it cools down the next couple of hours for them in the second half of the game.
So do you hydrate differently overnight and in the morning, or is it exactly the same as you would normally prepare for a game?
The boys are pretty professional now. It's probably all year round we're hydrated. It doesn't sort of matter about whether it's going to be 40 or it's going to be 20. You need to be hydrated to perform at your best, and obviously with Gatorade jumping on board the AFL, no better drink to be knocking down your throat to get you nice and hydrated, Daniel.
Absolutely. We can see the boys just warming up. The white team at the southern end of Albert and Oval just going through their final paces. This game will get underway shortly, and we're very proud to bring it to you. A great crowd here, but if you obviously haven't been able to see the game today due to a whole range of reasons, you can sit back and enjoy it on PTV, Port Adelaide website, portadelaidefc.com.au. Jacko is with me in the box here at the moment, in fact my office, not the commentary box, but good crowd building up too, considering the heat. This is fantastic. Look at the Bob Quinn stand when you get the opportunity a bit later on, and also the Foss Williams stand when we get vision of that. It is a tremendous sight.
Yeah, massive crowd, and that's what the boys will want. They want a big crowd out here. Obviously we're here to perform, and we love to not only just train it throughout the pre-season, we want to show what we've been actually doing. And I can see the members number ticking over there. I think we're 12 away from 40,000, which is going to be a massive achievement if we can get that done today. And hopefully all the members out there will either be watching on the PTV or watching here live, so it's going to be a good hit out.
Let's put this into perspective too. We are nearly over 40,000 members. Our record, Jacko, was last year where we got to 41,000. There's every chance we could get to over 41,000 by the start of the year. And the critical thing for members to understand is if you want to get your seat to that round 2 showdown, and to all home games, of course, you need a 11-game season ticket. So go to the Port Adelaide website, weareportadelaide.com.au, or indeed you can also call the club 1300 GO PAFC. So those phones will be manned. Jacko, they're about to get into position. The teams are obviously a little bit different because clearly there's different power players on different sides. Any key matchups that you know about that we need to keep an eye on?
Oh, not really. I think it'll be a pretty free-flowing game. Obviously the boys have been training hard for the last couple of months, so it'll probably be a bit of a slog. Most blokes will get a bit tired early and they'll sort of have to grind away, but as you can see the Blacks look pretty strong in there with Boki, Brad Ebert and Ollie starting off with big Lobes taking the ruck. So I think it's a pretty strong Black team, but I think the Whites have got some real talent in there. I think Polak's going to start in the middle with Young, and obviously their ruckman's a young Magpies player, which will be fantastic. Well,
we're just underway, Jacko, and the official AFL umpires put the ball down. Big clash in the middle. No one really got their hands to the football. Brad Ebert got a quick handball to Lobe. He kicks it inside 50. Butcher, there's 2-on-1. A great grab though by John Butcher. That's a really positive start. He's taken a great mark in front of Daniel Flynn now. He's going to kick from around about 48 metres out. We know there's been a few question marks on his kicking over time, but he's worked a lot on it, Jacko, over the pre-season.
Yeah, Johnny's been taking shot after shot after shot after shot after shot, and he's gone back and slotted the first here. Daniel, wowee! Just the work he's been doing in the pre-season has been fantastic, Daniel. And, 10 seconds into the game, he slotted his first. Hopefully he's in for a big year. I'm pretty excited, obviously, but Johnny's been working at that day in, day out after training. You go out there and have 15, 20 kicks at goal, and obviously it's paying off.
A terrific goal there. That goal umpire did not move a muscle. Great for his confidence. Took a mark. It was a 2-on-1 contest. Admittedly, young Flynn, who's the Irish recruit for the Power, is standing him at the moment. But still, you've got to take the mark, and most importantly, you've got to go back and kick the goal from 45 metres out. So a great start there. Port Adelaide Black, we'll call them. 1 goal straight, 6 points leading Port Adelaide Whites yet to score. So the umpire's got it back in the centre. Big Lobe is going to go up against the young Magpie ruckman again. I've got to get that young man's name. There's a lot of Magpie players out there that we're not aware of. We know that young man though. Polek kicks the ball forward. His first kick in Port Adelaide colours. Well done though by Cleary to Stevenson, and here they go again through Ebert. Now Kane Corns has got it. Nicely chopped off there, but there's a scramble of possession. Boak's got it. Lewis Stevenson again now short to Westhoff, and what a player he is. Handballs to Boak. Good run on football. They're playing on it every chance. Ollie Wine's going to pump it forward. Butcher again. The man again. Oh, the big Butcher's got it again, Jacko.
I'll tell you what, Daniel. You know, he's not playing against much opposition here, but I'll tell you what, he is looking very exciting early, going up for his second goal in probably, a minute and a half. It is a great start by big Johnny Butcher. I think Port Adelaide fans have been waiting for this day.
And he has got it.
Slotted his second, mate. He's looking very sharp out there, big Johnny. But just the movement through the Blacks from the half-back, they just diced and sliced straight through the defence, got it through with a few handballs, and then just kicked it in long to the one-on-one, and John Butcher was just too strong there, Daniel.
I think with all respect, he's standing Rakawasa, or Rakawasa standing him, and you know, in terms of the level of competition, Rakawasa's played a lot of SANFL football. The stand is a little bit different to the AFL fullbacks that have taken on John Butcher in the past.
Yeah, Johnny's played up against some, you know, really good opposition. You know, Darren Glass, who's probably one of the best defenders of all time, and obviously out here playing against some of the Magpies boys. Johnny probably should be too strong and you know, too quick for these blokes, but he started really well, which is fantastic to see.
So the umpire back in the centre, 2 straight goals, 12 to Port Black to Whites yet to score, and they're getting the clearances relatively comfortably, but wrapped up there, Kane Corns. In goes Stewart. Gee, down go a few plays there. Well done there by the Whites, shoveling it out wide. Carl Amon's got it. Number 43, stab pass. I like that.
Great kick.
Oh, that was a beautiful piece of work. Carl Amon, he's obviously been impressive this pre-season.
Yeah, a young fella we've just picked up in the draft, but he's just a silky class player, and obviously just showed what he can do there with the spear pass. But I just like the way that the boys are cracking in early here, Daniel. They're not really taking anyone for granted. They're just whacking in at every contest and making the most of their opportunity out there.
So number 6 for the Whites, walking into goal. He's going to kick from around about 40 metres out. Drop punt on its way. It looks like it's got the distance, and that is a tremendous piece of work by the young man who's kicked that goal. So bear with us though. We don't have a specific team sheet in front of us, Jacko, so there's a lot of new faces out here today. We'll try and get you those details a little bit later on, but well done to the Whites. That was good ball movement and well set up there by Carl Amon. Let's check that score. 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. It is Port Adelaide Blacks, 2 straight goals, 6. Two straight goals, 12 should I say, to Port Whites, 1 straight goal, 6. That was very, very impressive by Carl Amon.
Yeah, he looked very classy player, and his running ability in the pre-season has been something that has really shone out amongst the older players. He's been able to challenge some really good runners, and just his class with his skills then really showed what he can probably do for us this year. So we've got Lobie and the young Magpies ruckman jumping in. Lobes is getting the better of him early, but he's fighting in hard, one-on-one, trying to get it out.
Scrambling there, Jacko.
I'm not sure what's going on here. We've got a free kick to Tommy Logan, who will steady the Blacks. Kicks it out wide to young Sam Calhoun. He's looked impressive this pre-season too. Into Stewart. Just the skill of this Black team's looking you know, very precise and knowing what they want to do. Broadbent out to Tom Jonas. Just at the half-forward flank. Into Schultz. 55, maybe 60 out from goal. He's going to just pop it up, I think. Lobe and Butcher. Don't tell me. Don't. Lobie.
Lobes has got it. Still, we're very excited.
I'm getting that excited about John Butcher here, Daniel. He's very impressive, but Lobes has just jumped in front of him and taken the mark, and will go back from right on the end of the goal square and slot through the Blacks' third. And you know, as I just said before, there's some really class players out here, and you know, it's exciting to see from the sidelines. Lobes will come in and make sure of the third for the Blacks team.
Yes.
He slotted that from about 15, maybe 20 metres out directly in front, which is no issue for the big man who's been jumping in and getting a lot of hit-outs. I think he's had the first 4 or 5 hit-outs of the game, and really setting up the Blacks in the middle. So it's going to be a tough day for the Whites. I just think the little bit more experience on the Blacks team is probably going to hurt them, but the way that both teams are just cracking in has been super impressive early.
Indeed it has. Only 6 minutes gone in this first quarter. Very offensive game. Free-flowing football. Port Blacks 3 goals, 18. Leading the Whites 1 straight goal,
and
6.
they've ticked over the 40,000 members. Daniel Norton.
Congratulations.
Clap. That is terrific.
Yes, congratulations. I know the vision's on the game at the moment, but the scoreboard reads 40,017 members. That is a fantastic result, Port Adelaide people. Well done. Thank you to our community for supporting our club. Polak, meantime, has got the ball going forward. Nice little stab pass. He's done that magnificently, and that's Mason Shaw. I know that movement. Chips wide, and good football. And that's a long way away from our commentary position here, but the Whites are going to have a shot on goal about 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle right in front of the bowling club. Mason Shaw, tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, he's had a really good pre-season as well. I think he's featured in nearly all the training sessions, which when you're a young fella, that's all you want to do. You want to get out there and make sure you tick off every single session that goes by, and Mason Shaw's been able to do that. Really impressive man, as I've said a few times to some of these young fellas, but he's come a long way, and I think he's probably ready to step up into the main side or really push for selection with some good performances in the sample.
So a minor score there to the Whites. First minor score for the game. 3 straight goals, 18 to the Blacks, 1-1-7 to the Whites as Matthew Broadbent brings it out defence, kicks long towards Westhoff. Big pack of players. Not easy to see there. Our vision is obstructed here in the commentary box. That's Jackson Trengove just referring to a few people out here on the balcony to try and help us out. So Polak's got it anyway. He's got it centre wing, right in the middle of this delightful ground here at Alberton. Squeezes it wide and finds the young man, I believe, in... I'm only going to make it up because I'm not sure who that is at this stage from the Magpies. Good football though from the Magpies. They're just holding, well, the White team, should I say, is just holding on to possession.
Yeah, they have. They've done a really good job in the last couple of minutes just to try and steady the game. But Boak off to Matty White, who's going to bring a lot of speed into our team. Westhoff running through the centre, quick handball over to Stewart. Stewart to Wines, bit of a loopy one. Just gets to the traffic too easily there. Matty White, who's run on well, he's run super. Cam O'Shea off the half back, is now at half forward. Daniel and he's looked good too. He's looking in fine nick. So he's at 50 out, looking for an option. Sees Hoff short and hits but drops mark. Hoff on the ground, tries to whack it on the left boot, misses the footy completely. Boys are whacking in. Off to the Whites. Newton with the left boot, steadies it to Eamon, who might control it. Yeah, he's just pinned him out of a big pack of Blacks, and he's just popped it straight into his pocket. They're trying to get a bit of run here, the Whites, and they're doing such a great job. They're running it on, as we cannot see on this boundary here, North.
It is difficult. We are obscured with the vision. There's no doubt about that. What you see on the camera, we can't see at the moment. What I can see, I might be able to help you out here, is that the Blacks have got the footy, Jacko. What can you see from your angle?
Yes, I've tried to get a different angle up the box. I'm absolutely in the top right-hand corner and still can't see anything up here, Norton. It's a bit of a scramble. The umpire's called it and he'll throw it up.
We apologise. We're trying to bring this coverage to you as best we can. We're running a little bit short on resources, but what we can tell you, it's an 11-point ball game at the moment. Blacks 18, leading White 7.
Off to Wines to Robbie Gray, who's probably the first touch, slips one tackle, gives a handball over. Matty White, who's going to use his speed down the boundary, handballs it to Moore. Moore from 75 into my man Butcher, who drops it with some pressure. Robbie Gray's run on.
Oh, no.
Gave himself the own handball.
Oh, no.
Kicks it off the ground. Mopped up by the Whites. And tackled by Sam Calhoun, who's done well. Robbie Gray coming a bit high. And the umpire has misseen it. He's absolutely hit him over the breadbasket there, and he's missed it, the umpire, but that's okay. It'll be a throw-in in the forward pocket for the Blacks, with Lobie competing up against, I'm not sure who. The jumpers are misleading us here, I think, a little bit, Norts. Yeah. Those guys. Robbie Gray's third touch for the quarter, left boot.
Misses.
Just to the right. Nearly scraped the post there. Robbie had about 4 touches in 33 seconds there, Daniel.
Yeah, so a minor score, 3-1 to 1-1. The Blacks leading, and we're midway through the first quarter. It's been a breakneck speed at the moment. Really, really good football. 10 minutes gone into the first quarter. So the Whites just move the ball out towards that grandstand side. Big crowd in front of that famous Bob Quinn stand. Terrific to see the Port Adelaide community together. And as we just said a few minutes ago, 40,000 members. That is brilliant. Meanwhile, the Blacks bring it forward, looking for the player there in white, but well done by Darcy Byrne-Jones. Squeezes it wide to Archie. Got to do a lot of work now. Here's Flynn. Here's the Irish recruit. What can he do? Pokes it short to Newton.
Fantastic kick.
That's terrific.
But look
football.
at the run.
It's not Newton, but that doesn't matter because the Whites have got a good footy, playing on quickly. I like this brand of football at the moment. He backs up, butters up and gets his own footy, that player. Kicks it deep towards the old scoreboard pocket. Who's leading the race? Is that Big Homshi? It is. He's like a big Shetland pony. He's got the handle out the top. Well done, Homshi. Now he's on the left boot, finds Brad Ebert, and now they can resettle.
Yes, Ebert chips it over to Jasper Pittard on the back flank. That was some exciting footy there. Couldn't quite get a result. The Whites off the Broadbent, who's running hard. Just takes the mark, wants to slow the play down. It's been a frantic pace early, so they're just slowing it down, the Blacks, which is probably what the coaches want to see a little bit. Bit of control. Centres the ball into Homshi, who's got in a great spot. That's a fantastic kick. The quick handball over to the General, Kane Corns, into Tommy Logan through the centre, who's played straight on and gone to Sam Calhoun. Matty White's running hard here, will get the handball. Oh, it's missed him just. Archie will mop up for the Whites with a slick handball out after the kick off the back half-back flank. A few skill errors here, but that's okay. It's our first hit out, and you know, you're going to expect that early, Daniel, and these boys will start to clean their skills up in the second half of the game. You'll see it'll get a lot sharper. It's their first hit out. We've been training for so long. You just sort of get those nerves and you just want to loosen up a little bit. Yeah, nothing like the lactic acid builds up too, doesn't it? You start to get, you're so pumped and you're out there and suddenly things start to get a lot more frenetic when you're starting to play a game rather than just training. It's really good to see though. The energy levels are so high. Well done there, good contest, good 50-50 contest. This is great stuff, played in great spirit this game. The Whites have got the ball, shovel out wide, Polek, a little dinky kick, well played, and finds a teammate on centre wing in front of the Foss Williams stands. Aaron Young? Yep. Aaron Young's got the football a long way away, had the big beard over pre-season, he's just trimmed it back a little bit, kicks in front of the bowling club, big pack of players. Danny Butcher tries to rove the football, thought he got shunted in the back, umpire said play on. Arms and legs in there like a spaghetti farm. Well done over the top to Shaw. Shaw from 35. He couldn't have possibly kicked it. He has. Oh, good skills by the big man. Never an easy kick from there. And Mason Shaw has kicked it first. And the Whites second. The Whites 2-1-13. The Blacks 3-1-19. As I said, he's been impressive all pre-season, but one of the things he has brought to the club from day one is his goal-kicking ability. He knows where the goals are, but yet he's able to kick it. You know, a bloke at 6'6", he's got great control of the footy, whether it's a set shot or on the run. As you're seeing there, he slotted that from the boundary, no worries.
Yeah, terrific stuff. Really entertaining football there, and well done. We just saw a glimpse of Mason Shaw. He is tremendous forward and fantastic work. 13.5 minutes gone in the first quarter.
So quick swap over in the ruck here. We've put in Justin Westhoff in for the Blacks, who's replaced Lovey. So, you know, you might see a little bit of Westhoff pinch hitting. He's such a mobile player who can play back, forward, ruck, and he'll win the first hit out here straight down to Matt White, who's sort of picked it up, shoveled it out to Broadbent to Stewart, who was sick earlier on. He's just got himself up for the game, which is fantastic. Matty White with a spearing ball to Jay Schultz. Flynn right up him, and he's paddled it to the boundary. No, we're going to keep it in. Newton's kept it in. Goes straight onto his left boot. Schultz pressures, fantastic. He's just worked that over the boundary line. He's had 4 or 5 efforts there, and that's what you want to see from a big key forward with such a strong body.
Tell us about Ben Newton. I've heard he's had a fantastic pre-season.
Yeah, I'm not going to say super. I've said it too many times, but he's been excellent, Ben Newton. Obviously, he had to Robbie Gray here, but Newton's efforts just to train, you know, through the whole pre-season, hasn't missed a beat, as I said before. But he's just pushing the group. He's not only pushing himself. He's you know, he's gone a long way this pre-season. He's given himself every chance to play some AFL footy and some consistent footy this year.
So the Whites take it down centre wing. They're playing some really good football, the Whites, which is encouraging to see. It's the future of Port Adelaide, that White team in particular. Well done to Cleary, though, talking about the future. He's certainly shown some poise there in defence. So Brad Ebert's got it, squares it wide. Looks like that is a long way away from me. Is it Homps? Or was it Corns? Goes in short to the skipper. I can pick him up with the number 1 on the back. So Travis Boak, right half back, goes in short and finds more. So just holding up the football here, the Blacks. Squares it, got to be pinpoint, and it is. Paul Stewart's got it. And now the next option, is it going to be Butcher? Butcher lurking, squares it again, and Jackson Trengove, you can see that, I can't.
I'm in a great position here, Norts. I'm right up in the top right-hand corner on an absolute ladder here, enjoying the football.
How high are you?
I'm very high, mate. It's going to rain in about half an hour. I'm that high up here. But I'll tell you what, the Blacks just taken the pace out of this game, which I probably wanted to see at one stage or another, and they've brought it now. They've just started slowing the ball down, starting to stick to what we want to know. Corns has gone long to Schultz, who loves this position, just punches it down. Ollie Wines, Polak roves it off the pack, handballs. I cannot see now.
But that's okay, Flinny's got it.
Flynn's giving the 1-2 straight round. Tom Jonas has just read that ball a treat off the back line. Handballs it to Paul Stewart, who's got a lovely kick into Tom Logan, who will wheel around on his left. There's not many options open because they've all been over this side, but spreading hard is Stevens. Just lunges for it, doesn't quite get there. Quick kick in to Schultz. Yes, Schultz. It's a very strong contested mark, Jay Schultz, and he doesn't let you down too many times. And I'll put me back bank on this one. I think he'll slot this from a tough angle. No, he's chipped it over to Westy, and Westy will kick one from directly in front. Yeah. That's too easy, that footy.
Well, the Whites have just got to be aware of that, and that's probably added fitness and a little bit of added experience too. The Whites' defence, Rakawasa it might have been, just got caught off the pace there. But as you pointed out, Westhoff running in and kicking his first goal, and gives the Black team a little bit of a buffer over the Whites. 4-1, leading the Whites 2-1. We've got about 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Terrific offensive football though.
Yeah, I'm loving the way the Whites are cracking in as well. They're playing some super footy. They've just got to try and just control the footy a little bit more. I think they're really one pace. They're attack, and then the Blacks are just catching them out a little bit. I think if they can slow it down and really control what they're trying to do, I think they'll get a few more scores on the board. As you saw then, Justin Westhoff just running hard, and he's one of the best runners in the AFL, so he's going to do that to any sort of player.
So Big Ben Herron in the ruck up against Lobe. And they're sort of side by side there. Lobe just palms it down. Moore's got it. Tries to show it with strength. That was just pure strength. To Muffins Colquhoun. Got it, ball smothered. Paul Stewart sticks his head in the hole as he always does. Good pick up there by the White. Good tackle though by the Black. Stevenson's got it. Kicks inside 50. Who's there? Boak's there. It's going to pitch though in front of Pittard. Pittard crashes through. Good defensive work there by the Whites. And they're going to take it away. So the hands might go to Rakawasa. No, he kicks short. Oh, dangerous turnover in that side of the football, and that might have been a little high. Umpire said play on that was appeared a fraction high, but accidental.
Yeah, he's touching up on his skills as well. This umpire, they've might have got a little bit high, but he's just let it go. And everyone loves to see a game that's been let go. Lowe's is pretty strong. He's just blocked one out. Needs got it on the ball. Ollie Wines, no, that's Moore. Moore with strength works through to Broadbent. 50 out. They're just chipping. Can't quite get. Aiming for the White. He's only got one man, so he's tried to go the torpedo mongrel, which has gone about 55 metres out wide. Cleary's going to be the first to get there. Mop it up with his left foot. Lovely hit to Homsch.
Two-sided.
Homsch off the half-back. Kicks nice to Pittard. Left foot is working very well here. Chipping to Muffin Colquhoun. Running hard. Into Schultz, who's worked up the ground. 70 from home to Gray. They're overworking him here, the Blacks. Robbie Gray, who's his next option? 2 come out. He says, no, thank you, I might do this myself. But just chips it back inboard to Paul Stewart, who's on the corner. He's looking for an option. Tom Logan's sliding, but I don't think he can see him. Goes the long ball. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Oh, nearly John Butcher. Gray lurking. Out of bounds.
Great call, Jacko. That was fantastic. What a build-up. Terrific stuff. Tom Logan running out, and they call him the Coke can. He loves drinking and having a couple of Cokes in the off-season. Diet Coke, though, of course, and he loves his Diet Cokes.
Diet Cokes and Coke Zeros, that's all he drinks. He just absolutely loves it. So he's got the nickname the Coke can. John Butcher's reading it hard, but geez, Flynn's got some pace. Butcher reads it well. Off the ground, winds. Flynn goes hard. Young fumbles, gets the ball back, nice and strong. What's the umpire going to do here? He's paid holding the ball. You get your opportunity once, and that's once only. Umpire's very red hot on that these days, Daniel. Very red hot.
In fact, the siren about to go, I think.
Siren about to go. We've ticked up to 40,038 members. This is fantastic. It's going up by the second here. Cam O'Shea, that's quarter time, and he'll have a shot from 35 out on a very hard angle, and we'll watch this right in.
I don't mind it.
It's not quite.
So it's quarter time here in the big family day here at Alberton. It's a terrific day. What a way to kick off season 2014. Let's just recap that score before we take a break. Port Adelaide Blacks 4-2-26, leading Port Adelaide Whites 2-1-13. Just quickly before we break, some of your better players, Jacko.
Yeah, well, I thought John Butcher would just create a little bit up forward and kick those 2 goals and was the leading goal kicker. But I mean, a lot of the boys are cracking in. They're having a red hot dip. I thought young Moore was very strong, and he's had a big pre-season as well. But your main focus there was probably John Butcher and kicking 2 and creating a few things. Robbie Gray got his hands on it a little bit, but all the boys are having a red hot crack, and they'll loosen up a little bit like me and you will.
Correct.
Throughout the day, we'll loosen.
We're a bit rusty.
We're a bit rusty.
So are the umpires.
First crack, and everyone's a little bit rusty down here in Albert, but the crowd is not rusty. They come out in numbers early, and if this is anything to go by, Daniel, we're in for a big crowd throughout the whole year.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break, and then after the break, we'll show you the second quarter. Thanks for your company on portadelaidefc.com.au, PTV with Daniel Norton and Jackson Trengove.